Hello, welcome back to the channel Tarot Yogi. I'm Vinit, and today we have another timeless pick a card reading on what does your boss think of you and what career guidance do you need to hear right now. And even before we jump into the reading, I do want to announce I will be offering my highly anticipated witchcraft course starting June 27th. So if you're interested in signing up, you can send me an email to get more details, and you can do the same if you want a personal reading from me. And I'm seeing a lot of y'all are not subscribing, so asking you really, really sweetly to please subscribe and let's get to 10K really soon, please. And yeah, now let's move forward to the reading on what does your boss think of you and what career guidance do you need? Because I haven't done this topic in a while, and I do a lot of client readings, so this is usually a topic that comes up over and over again. People are just, I would say majority of people are just not happy with where they are, or the jobs that they're doing. And yeah, I really hope you get some guidance from this. So let's move forward to the options. We have three piles to choose from. Pile number one, we have the Triumphi della Luna tarot. Pile number two, we have our Edmund Dulac tarot. And pile number three, we have Tarot of the Witch's Garden. So again, take a minute, see what pile is being called to you intuitively. The description box below will have the timestamp for your pile. And again, these are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And please like the video, please share, subscribe. Please subscribe. And yeah, if you're interested in learning witchcraft, you can send me an email to get more details. And I will see you guys in your reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number one. If you chose the Triumphi della Luna Tarot, this is your reading on what does your boss think of you and what career guidance do you need right now. And even before we jump into the reading, I do want to announce 27th June, we will have our very highly anticipated witchcraft course. So if you're interested in learning witchcraft from me, you can definitely sign up. You can send me an email to get more details, and you can do the same if you are interested in getting a personal reading from me. My details are given in the description box below. Now, let's jump into the reading on how does your boss see you and what career guidance do you need right now? Okay, pile number one, we have Eight of Cups, Six of Wands, Eight of Wands, Page of Wands, the Chariot, Knight of Swords, the Emperor, Three of Pentacles, and King of Swords. How your boss sees you, firstly, your boss sees you as someone who can definitely steer difficult situations to a victorious one. I think your boss has seen you maneuver some really difficult social work interactions, and you have made the tides turn in your favor. Definitely, your boss sees you as extremely charismatic and you're very likable. I think that's what your boss would say, that a lot of people like you, a lot of people are charmed by you. We have the Eight of Wands, and your boss could even say that you're extremely good looking and a lot of people do have crushes on you, because we have the Eight of Wands. And in the traditional tarot, the meaning of Eight of Wands is love at first sight. And I know this is not even about love, but I do think you have a bit of this enchanting presence, which definitely helps you in your workspace. You're definitely giving office siren energy over here, so to speak. And Eight of Cups, because looking at the cards below and looking at the Eight of Cups above, I do think your boss knows that you deserve more in terms of the money you're making for the amount of work and effort you're putting in. And I think you're very respectful. That's another thing why your boss really likes you, and your boss doesn't really want to lose a workhorse like you, right? But maybe it's just the current circumstance financially, right, where maybe they just don't have the budget for promotions. I am getting that over here. So, but then again, there's always a big turnover being made. So, who's really pocketing the money, right? Because we have Page of Wands and below that we have the Emperors. And that is the career advice for you. I think you are a star at your workspace, but you're not satisfied. You want more. You deserve more for the amount of work you're putting in. And with the Page of Wands, maybe you need to scout for new places. Maybe you need to, maybe you just need to be a little strategic and start applying for places where you wouldn't usually apply. I think you need to, set your sights really high on your goals over here, so to speak. Because even in this Page of Wands card, what he's doing is he's really trying to stretch and he's trying to reach for the flower bulb. So, and since I use the word bulb, I do think you will have a bulb going off, and I do think you will find a better work opportunity for yourself when you're in a more lighter energy, when you're in a happier energy, where you are in this energy of wanting to discover and wanting to find. What am I hearing? I'm hearing I don't search, I find. So you will definitely magnetize yourself to a new job if that's what a lot of y'all want. We have the Chariot and we have the Knight of Swords. So I do think maybe you've even taken action in the past, but maybe it just wasn't the right time. And I do think right now might be the time if if you're not getting a promotion this year, I definitely feel you should apply to other places, because I do think you're very likable, you're great to work with, you're a great collaborator, you know how to be the leader, you know how to take charge. I think a lot of people come up to you in your office space anyway, for your life advice, or even if you're not in the office, I feel a lot of you are like tarot readers or astrologers over here. So you do have a sense of authority to you, and you're supposed to use that to help people. And we have the Knight of Swords and we have the King of Swords. So again, keep taking necessary action. But I think you have to start thinking about yourself with the King of Swords that just fell down. And this is a very interesting King of Swords because, yes, he has his main sword, but that's not what he's using to stab. He has a smaller knife sword that he's going to be using to do his dirty deed. So definitely apply for a new job before resigning. And you will get success in that, I feel. I do think you have to be a little sly right now to get your way. And I do think you will get your way over here. I do feel you have enough good karma at your back. And I do feel a lot of y'all really like your boss, but at the end of the day, it is about your work and it is about the money you're making, right? And it's not personal when you want more for yourself. So I would say communicate your needs very, very clearly. And if your needs are not being met, maybe go somewhere else. I think you will be better off. I think there is a place where you're more needed and you will be more celebrated. So get out of your own way, and really set your sights really high on what do you think is possible for yourself, There might be some talk in the office, but I don't think it really matters because it's human nature to gossip, and when people are bored, they will gossip, right? So these are definitely people who are not as productive as you, so it doesn't really even matter, I would say, pile number one. Because you're clearly the leader. I do think you handle more than your portfolio at your workspace, and I do think you're being undermined a bit. So I think in the next 6 months you will have a clearer answer, whether you want to stay or leave. But the cards are definitely telling you to look for new horizons. Maybe I do think a lot of y'all will even get to travel for work over here. You will maybe leave your city, your country. I do get that very, very strongly as well. So maybe you need to start applying in places you wouldn't usually apply. And yes, times are difficult, but then again, people were still thriving, right? When things were really bad. So why shouldn't you be able to thrive right now? So it's all about the mindset. And the more you magnetize and align yourself and take the right actions, decisive actions that have been strategized over and over again to perfection, you will truly get what you want. And maybe your work life is asking a lot of you right now. Maybe you're not able to balance it, but you will be able to do that very, very soon as well. So don't worry about that. I feel that's an extra message. You are a winner. Pile number one. You will always, like I said, be very victorious. So even if people are going against you, it is just for you to strengthen yourself, right? So even if there's a lot of hate that you get, a lot of passive aggression that you get from maybe your colleagues, don't take it personally. Just, keep doing your thing, because people are clearly jealous of you, right? And it doesn't really matter, when you're there to do what has to be done. So I don't even have to take I don't even have to tell you to take care of business, because I know you'll do it. I think what is more important is for you to expand. I think it's time for you to expand and want more, and be able to experience that, even experience, making more money for less amount of hours to work. I do feel you truly deserve that, pile number one. I think you have great people skills. I think you're extremely social. Or even if you're not extremely social, you know how to turn it on in social situations, which makes you a great asset, because again, you know what the situation calls for, and you always have the right answer almost intuitively, right? So it's a good thing. I do think a lot of y'all have very social birth charts where a lot of progress will be made for you in large groups, right? I do feel a lot of y'all are overworking, because I was yawning. So I think a lot of y'all need to cover up your sleep. You definitely need to rest more, otherwise you will burn out. So it's important for you to learn to find that balance for yourself, right? Maybe there's a little guilt and shame for wanting more for yourself, because you are able to sacrifice yourself for the greater good of all. But I do think it's high time, maybe, you also look after yourself and your own needs and what you truly want, right? Sometimes you just have to rip the band-aid, right? And it will lead to something better, and you might not feel that right away, but deep down know it will. So stop carrying other people's load at work, honestly. Let people fend for themselves for once, pile number one. That's how people will become capable. I do feel there are better work opportunities coming for you for sure. I definitely feel that. I think it's time for you to even create your own way. I think a lot of y'all just need to maybe start your own business, start your own company. I do think that is a message for a lot of y'all, because we do have the emperor. So, you are an equal to the most powerful person in your office, right? Even if you don't have the capital right away, I do feel you will be able to attract in whatever you need, whether it be investors, but whatever you need over here. So a lot of y'all just need to maybe take that leap of faith and really collaborate with your own spirit team, because they want to give you the kingdom. They really, really do. Pile number one. But it will take a lot of strategy. It will take a lot of planning at your end. It will take a lot of just patience, right? And I do feel you're genuinely a nice person. I do feel very altruistic being in your energy. But like I said, you sort of have to fend for yourself sometimes, and that is required. A certain amount of selfishness is required to preserve yourself and to protect yourself, right? Pile number one. So keep that in mind. That's very, very important. Shuffle some oracle. Okay, pile number one, we have card number 15, Adelina, card number 27, Punishment, and card number 41, the Ruby Queen. And with Adelina and Ruby Queen, I'm getting a very clear message that there will be a right time for you to go on new adventures. And I think it's time that, you bring yourself back into the main character energy and stop taking other people's slack at work. Stop being the good person. You don't have the time to be the good person right now because you have to achieve things. And I'm not saying you have to be amoral, that's not what I'm saying, but maybe you have to self-preserve more so you can redirect your energy to what is really required of you, because you're here to do greater things. And I think it is time, the very fact that you're still watching this reading, I think it's really the time for you to step into the next phase of your life. And we really have to be capable, right, of more responsibilities being thrown at us, and our character will be tested over and over again to make sure, right, that we don't abuse the power or the skills that is given to us. And I do feel you're going through that sort of an initiation right now, so be a little selfish right now. Think about yourself, think about your own needs, because I do think taking better care of yourself will help you achieve even greater things and help more people. So it's all about rewiring your brain, right? It's all about changing that thought pattern. So get yourself out of the funk and get yourself out of the guilt, because you're meant to do a lot. You're here to experience the full potential of your greatness. I think that's the best way I can say by number one. And I really feel a lot of y'all just need a rest, a massage, maybe a little break, because I just feel like my eyes are closing in this reading and I wasn't sleepy at all when I started the reading. So take a nap, please. And just know, be patient. There will be the right time for you to fly to a better future. And I think it's coming very, very soon when you least expect it. So rest up. I think you will need it for what is to come. And it's only good things, But till then, you sort of have to prove to be a good leader, right? You have to prove your character to maintain this leadership role that is being given to you. And this is big stuff. And we cannot procrastinate with this, right? Because we have a limited window of these opportunities as well. And if we give up the opportunity, it will go to someone else. So why do that? You haven't come this far for nothing, right? So strategize more and know that you will be guided to the right thing if you rest enough and get quiet enough and get still enough. The answers are right there if you are quiet enough to listen, right? Any other messages? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number one. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like the video, please share, subscribe, comment. And if you're interested in learning witchcraft from me, you can join my course starting 27th June, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number two. If you chose the Edmund Dulac Tarot, this is your reading on how does your boss see you and what career advice do you need to hear right now. And even before we jump into the reading, I do want to announce 27th June, I will be offering my much anticipated witchcraft course. So if you're interested in signing up, you can send me an email to get more details, and you can do the same if you are interested in getting a personal reading from me. And now let's jump into the reading on what does your boss think of you and what career advice, guidance do you need right now. Okay, pile number two, we have 10 of Cups, 3 of Wands, Ace of Swords, 10 of Swords, we have Queen of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Six of Swords, the Empress, and we have the Sun. Sun ending the reading. How your boss sees you, let's start there. Your boss sees you as a very positive influence on everyone in the office. I do feel this is not the pile of people who works alone. I do think you're working with a group of people, whether it be above you, below you, and for a lot of y'all, I think it's both. So your boss sees you as someone who's good at breaking ice, so to speak, over here, like the Britney song. And Three of Wands, so you're very triumphant, you're very successful. Even if it takes you a while to close a deal, you close it to your own profit and to the company's profit. So they do see you as a very good asset. They do see you as someone worth investing in, right? And we have the Ace of Swords. So I do feel that is very, very true. So you're not just a great worker, but you're also good at social interactions and being charismatic and charming enough to get your way. And your boss definitely sees this, and your boss wants to use this, to his advantage. It's just been a very strange day, all kinds of things just falling apart, and I don't know, I think retrogrades are still on. Maybe it has something to do with that. We have Ten of Swords, Queen of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Six of Swords. I don't think you are in a very good place. I think you are overworked. I do think you're putting in a lot of hours, and maybe the pay isn't enough right now. But for you, particularly pile number 2, I do feel you should not leave the company. I think maybe you just need to stick it out a little longer, and I do think you will get a better promotion maybe in a year or two's time, because the reading ends with the Sun card and the Empress. So I do think maybe you have to be long enough in your office space to get the kind of promotion you want and you need. And it's very possible over here. I do see it happening for you, even if it takes some time. It'll definitely take 6 to 8 months. So I would say right now is not the time to maybe apply to new places. I do think you have a good job. I do think you are in a good place with your colleagues, with your boss. I do think there is harmonization required to do good work. And I don't feel that you will be undermined forever. I do think you will be given the right rewards for your hard work and your labor and what you're offering. So I would say just be a little patient, maybe just hold up a little if you're working under someone, or even if you're running your own business. I do feel a lot of y'all are running your own business over here, and give it some time, things will take off. So just be a little patient with whatever you're trying to achieve over here. Your endeavors will be extremely successful. And use your love. You're supposed to use your emotionality to sort of get advantage, whatever advantage do you need in your workspace. I do think you're very intuitive, and you're very good at just reading the room. You're very good at reading people's subconscious thoughts. So use it as ammo. Use it to your advantage. There's a reason you're able to feel so much. It's definitely a weapon if you know how to use it, right? So use it to your advantage and further your own interests. I really feel like saying that over here, because you will be able to grow. You will be able to achieve whatever success looks like for you. It is a promise over here. Even if it takes some time. Knight of Pentacles, he's the most slowest of the knights, but he's the most thorough. So you want to be the slowest but the most thorough with your work, instead of just rampaging through your work and just to get it over with, right? So there's a clear message over here of really taking your time in perfecting whatever you're doing over here, right? Noticing the shield on the Knight of Pentacles card. So I do feel you're very, very protected, even if you might not feel that way. I do think you're being saved from certain situations that are not good for you. So if you're longing for something or someone and it's not working out, it's probably not for you. I do think the right people will come into your life if they aren't already here. I think what is being taught to you is to genuinely learn how to be in your feminine energy and not chase, not run after something. Because you do have this high achiever spirit, but you also have to learn to just be and and to be able to receive by just by being, right? Because you become the abundance itself. So stop denying yourself you in a way. You don't There are ways to work smarter than harder, always, right? But again, you are very thorough, so I don't even have to tell you that. But I'm just saying, if something is being offered to you, accept it. Whether it be a compliment, whether it be someone saying something about the way you look, whether it be something about something you're wearing or the way you smell, and anything, just be more receptive. I think it'll even help you further your goals at work, and you won't have to chase as much as learning to do the smarter thing and learning to magnetize it to yourself instead of you're going out of your way to get it or achieve it, right? So I do feel you have a bit of this witchy energy and you're supposed to use it, right? By number two, I would say it's better for you to be alone right now. Even if you are working with people, it's fine. But I do think only you have your back right now. So move like that and move accordingly. And I'm not saying, let go of your work relationships. Definitely maintain them. But let them only be work relationships. Because I do think your strength lies in you being alone. And your strength lies in people going against you, like a group of people going against you. I do feel that's when your own personal gifts are activated over here, because you are a little too powerful for one person to take over alone. So it always takes a gang of people, and I do feel there might be some behavior in office, in your social circles, that might rub you the wrong way. But again, there's nothing to worry. You're really, really protected over here. So know you're moving to a better time altogether. And I think things are going to look very, very different for you in the next 6 months. You're meant to be seen, you're meant to be heard, you're meant to be admired, pile number two. And I do think you're supposed to use the way you look to your advantage in your workspace. So illuminate your light, let it radiate off you, let people feel it, right? Because you just being yourself is going to uplift so many people around you. I don't even think you realize this. That's why you have a bigger role to play, so to speak, over here. You're giving everyone light that is in your vicinity, and it's not easy to self-generate so much energy on your own, right? And to do it consistently. So you're doing a lot, and maybe a lot of y'all need to even give yourself the necessary break whenever you feel the need. With the Six of Swords, I do feel that there is travel over here. Sooner or later, you will be traveling for work. You will be paid to travel, pile number two, just to be clear. And again, this will only happen once you magnetize yourself, right? You're not chasing, and you're just being. It's as simple and as difficult for you as that, right? Mastering that feminine side of yourself, wherever you fall on the spectrum. Pile number two, there's also a message of surrender over here. There's also a message of just looking at things from a different perspective than maybe what you have adopted right now. Maybe you really have to do the things that you wouldn't usually do, right? Maybe you have to just start a new energetic thing for yourself, and I do feel that will help you move forward to whatever you want to do, achieve over here. Be clear about your ideals, be clear about your goals, be clear about what you want out of this. And I do think you will be successful in getting that. So verbalize it well, write it down if you want to, speak it to yourself as affirmations, or do all of it. It will all add ritualistic energy to whatever you're trying to create over here, because There is this very strong creative energy with the Empress card here as well. And take your time. Whatever you're trying to birth, it will require time, patience, effort, enough nutrition, right? So don't be in a haste. If you're feeling hasty about something, that's probably not a good idea. I think that's how you need to even, self measure, so to speak. Listen to your intuition right now. I do think you're like extremely intuitive, and I do think your intuitive abilities are helping you navigate these very difficult terrains, right? These uncharted, dark territories. You're supposed to go through it in this life and come out victorious at the other end. Pile number 2. Shuffle some oracle. See if I missed something. Okay, pile number 2, we have card number 49, Deliverance, and card number 42, the Fawn. Again, with the Deliverance card, I feel even if the situation feels extremely futile, it is not. There will be a way made for you. The seas will part, so to speak. You will be given access. There will be a rite of passage over here, even in the most difficult of times. And with the Fawn card, you are extremely magical. I don't even think you're from this world. And use it. Use your magic. You're extremely magical. And there's a reason you have these gifts, which is to expand your consciousness in this lifetime and to allow yourself to creatively grow whichever direction you want to grow in, and finding freedom in that. Even if you're doing it in a more structured way, you will be able to be free even in the mundane, even in whatever sort of schedule you have. You will be able to get what you want out of situations and feel happy. Genuinely making the most of things in a very positive way, to be very, very honest. And like I said, use your witchy energy. It is there for a reason. You're supposed to use those gifts that you have to get what you want over here, honestly, pile number 2. Full moon might be very, very important, since we have a full moon on the Fawn card. And full moon speaks about climaxes, it speaks about culmination points, right? It speaks about wanting to release. So maybe there are certain things, people, places that you still have to let go of. And it's okay, take your time, and let it go, because there's so much grandness, not even greatness, I said grandness, waiting for you. I think you will be achieving a lot of things in this lifetime. And this is just honestly the beginning for you. Pile number 2. Pile number 2, you will be put in uncomfortable situations. You will be put in situations which are less than ideal for you, but again, it is the kind of pressure you need to grow, to develop your strength, to become who you're supposed to be in this lifetime, right? So you will sort of go on a hero's quest, so to speak. I do feel that. You need to speak your truth. Everything else will be taken care of. Just keep speaking your truth and communicate clearly, and I think you will be good. But be patient. Be patient with your workspace. Be patient with where you're trying to go, because you will reach there, and there's no point in reaching there before you're supposed to, right? So there is definitely divine timing at play over here, and I would say at least give it a minimum of 6 months for things to change. We all get so desperate, and in just this rush and a hurry, to sort of get to the other side without really doing the work to cross to the other side. So take your time, perfect yourself, because you are doing alchemy here of your soul, and it's not fun, it's not easy, right? It takes everything out of you, literally. So big stuff that you're doing, just relax. Try to relax more. I know what is truly meant for you will take some time, and that's not a bad thing. It means that once you get it, it will last for generations. It's going to be a permanent achievement that you make. So don't compare yourself to people who have it easy. They're not as talented as you, pile number two. Hmm. Anything else? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number two is again, it's a general reading. So please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like the video, share, subscribe, comment. If you are interested in learning witchcraft from me, you can send me an email to get more details. The witchcraft course starts 27th of June, and you can do the same if you want a personal reading from me. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number three. If you chose Tarot of the Witch's Garden, this is your reading on how does your boss see you and what career guidance do you need right now. And even before we start the reading, I do want to announce 27th June, I will be offering my witchcraft course. So if you're interested in learning witchcraft from me, you can send me an email to get more details. And you can also do the same if you want a personal reading from me. Now, let's begin the reading on how does your boss see you, think of you, and what career guidance do you need right now? Okay, pile number three, we have Nine of Swords, Six of Wands, the Tower, Eight of Wands, Five of Wands, Nine of Wands, Page of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and Five of Cups. Let's start with how your boss sees you. I think your boss sees you as a bit of an anomaly, as a bit of a wild card, so to speak. We have the Tower and we have the Nine of Swords. And if I remember correctly, Nine of Swords is Mars in Gemini, the second decan of Gemini, and Tower is Mars energy. So I don't think you hold back. I think you're very similar, pile number three. I definitely feel you could have a sharp tongue. I don't think you let things slide. And I think what your boss would say is you're sort of like your own agent. And I do think that makes you extremely powerful. Because yes, you can work with people, but you also sort of need to be like an octopus, right? And, to have your limbs sort of have a mind of their own, right? So you do give a bit of this alien starseed energy to people around you, even if you are in very worldly positions, right? People feel this otherworldliness, even if they're not always able to put you in a box. It's very difficult to put you in a box. I do think your boss thinks about you because you're just so different. I do think you stand out a bit in your workspace. And it's definitely giving me very star energy. And I do think you are a bit of like this walking tower. You are a bit of a walking karma to a lot of people, whether they like it or not. And maybe that's why you haven't been able to fit in. And I don't think you're supposed to fit in. I just think you're supposed to go through a lot of experiences till you realize that you sort of have to do your own thing. And I don't think you're supposed to even be in your current workspace anymore because your heart is not there. Looking at the cards, you're very defensive. There's already a lot of conflict. You have mentally resigned. I can see that over here. We have the Eight of Wands. So you are manifesting something better for yourself. But I feel you have to take a bit of a risk with the manifestation, which means maybe you need to leave this job because it's getting very obsolete for someone so advanced like you. And I do think in that sacrifice, you will actually find a better job that is more suited for you and will even pay you better. Maybe you need to do a bit of research, Page of Swords. Maybe you need to do a bit of study. Maybe you need to figure out what exactly you want to do and maybe get enough information. And I do see Ace of Pentacles, so you will be able to seize the opportunity. And I think the Five of Cups ending the reading is, I think you would be in the Five of Cups energy if you keep yourself where you are right now. I think there's a clear message to move. I think there's a clear message to manifest something better for yourself, because I'm also seeing the Magician card now. So know that you are in complete and utter balance. You are in perfect harmony inside and outside yourself to create whatever is your will, whatever you truly desire. It is yours right now. So don't be afraid to expand. Don't be afraid to want more. Don't be afraid to set your sights higher on what you thought you were even capable of, or wanting more for yourself, or being ambitious right now. Because I do think being ambitious this year, particularly for you, pile number 3, is going to pay off more than it could ever have before. So being in your Martian energy is almost required of you. So you use your uniqueness, right? Use your specialness. I don't like the word unique. I like the word special more. You are one of a kind. So use it, because you will be able to get certain outcomes that most people wouldn't be able to if they tried doing what you are trying to do. So you have the stuff it takes, and you're backed by your guides. So create. What are you creating right now is very, very important. If you're creating the same pattern, the same cobweb, it's just going to lead you to the same places. So see how you can expand. I think that's a very clear message over here. And I don't even think you might even be doing the same job. I think there might be a change in even your portfolio, your work position. What you're doing right now might be very different than your future jobs. So, and I'm not saying everything that you've done till now has been of waste. Absolutely not. In fact, everything that you've done this far will help you further on the next new achievement that you will unlock for yourself, right? Maybe there's too much disappointment right now. Maybe you need to focus on the good, right? If there are a lot of horrible things happening right now, there are some good things happening as well. And whatever you focus your consciousness on magnifies. So why not focus on the good instead of focusing on the bad and just letting your mind just run amok? You control your mind doesn't control you. And if that is not the case, please start meditating, go for a run, exhaust your body, then try controlling your mind. It'll be easier. So no excuses over here. And the more active you are, the better. And I do feel there are a lot of conflicts around you. I think there are a lot of just unnecessary volatile situations, but I do think spirit is sort of working its magic to show to you that you deserve to be in a better place, and that'll only happen once you sort of let go of just the bad situation that you think is not as bad because you're just so used to it, right? So even there's a reluctance to let go, but you really have to just cut it all out. You don't need anyone from your past. In fact, I think people will weigh you down. You're like the star. You don't need people. People need you. People need your light. By number 3. So move accordingly. There's definitely a clear message that move on. Look for something better. You will find it. Don't keep yourself where you are. And yes, life circumstances will always be difficult, if not more difficult. So don't even give me that. I think you just have to take a gamble on yourself. You should always take a gamble on yourself. Even if you fall, it's okay. And I think right now more than ever, I don't think you will fall. I think the forces are aligning with you, and what you truly want, it is yours. But there has to be a transaction, right? There has to be an energetic exchange to get what you want. So don't hold yourself back. I think a lot of y'all just are very clear about what needs to go, what you need to cut out. So just do it. Don't keep waiting. You're wasting your own precious time, and you're blocking your own blessings. So why do that? Pile number 3. And I think after this tower moment, you will be in a much better place. You will have a much better point of view also. You'll have a more zoomed out perspective that you're not able to see right now because you're so enmeshed and you're so attached to the very volatile situation, right? Which is extremely futile regardless of what you do to save it. You cannot salvage the situation. See, we'll take that as confirmation, you know. So let it go, let it fall, you know. There is something better. Know in your heart you deserve it. You have worked for it. And it's time for the next chapter now, right? And don't be a martyr. Don't think about, oh, you know, you cannot hurt other people. People are dependent on you. People will always be dependent on you, right? Even if you're dying. So make yourself a priority. I know you will genuinely be able to help people if you are in a better place yourself. You cannot keep expending yourself. You will burn out. It'll be a spiritual burnout. And it's very difficult to recover from that. So don't put yourself through that. You're not here to be a martyr. You're here to lead your own way and to create your own life how you see fit. And take joy in your autonomy. Take joy in your independence. Let that, you know, inspire you to want more. Because you will get so much more than you even anticipated, right? But the thing with these opportunities is there is a timer, right? Opportunities are not just hanging in the sky forever, right? The weather changes, sometimes in a few minutes. So I do feel time is very, very important. Make the most of it if something is being given to you. Shuffle some marker, see if I missed anything. Okay, pile number 3, we have card number 5, Omniscience, card number 16, Blemier, card number 18, Matrimony, and card number 31, Sophia. I was speaking about the zoomed out perspective, right? And that's what we are seeing in the Omniscience card, so it's definitely a confirmation, I feel. You will be gaining this ability to see things for what they are and instead of what you want them to be. And even if it is very painful at times, it will set you free, it will liberate you, it will help you even help other people. So it is a spiritual initiation and people will go against you. It's just, you know, just the nature of things. And you are more powerful because you have balanced your masculine and your feminine within yourself, right? With the matrimony card, you have balanced your sun with your moon inside yourself. So, you know, that there's this renewal, right? There's this self-sustaining renewal process that you are experiencing right now. And I do feel as a result, your energy will also shoot up and you will be able to do more, to be able to help more people, to really be a superhero. Because that's what you are. Pile number 3. And for a lot of y'all, I think, you know, you will end up doing your own thing. For a lot of y'all, you will be your own business owner, multiple businesses. That's what I'm seeing over here. So I feel all of this is just preparing you for the grand stage that is being set for you. You know, so all these quests that, you know, you're not making the conventional gains that you thought you would. Let it go. There is something more grand. There's a play more grand just written for you. And only you can play that character. But all of this is sort of the prerequisite for you to end up in that place. So understand the bigger picture over here instead of fighting and yearning and wanting and needing. You're much above these base instincts if you allow yourself to be. Let the sadness go. You know, healing is a never-ending thing. You know, we're always healing from something or the other, right? Even if we thought we had healed from it. So grace, more grace for yourself, more grace for just where you are in your life, and really being able to smell those roses for yourself, right? And if a situation is just getting more and more difficult, leave. That's why it's getting so difficult. You're not supposed to be there. It's a divine blessing, even if it feels like a bomb, right? So learn to read the signs a little better, because it's all around you. It's telling you, it's helping you. So don't be paranoid. Let these experiences help you ascend more than anything else, because that's what these experiences will do. And maybe you also need to look at your birth chart, because I feel a lot of y'all could have Ketu in the money houses, or the large group houses, maybe like second house or 11th house. That's what I'm getting. So maybe you will have more unconventional ways of making money. Maybe a lot of y'all, like I said, need to be your own sovereign entity, you know. I think that's what will really help you make the gains the way you're supposed to in this lifetime. And I don't know what was up. I don't know what was up with the candle flame, but it was like really burning. So know that, you are like a self-sustaining candle flame that will, help other people also get illuminated. So your destiny is much bigger than what and who you are. And you need to operate in that higher space to maybe even gain your earthly pursuits. Because if you go about doing it the way other people go about doing it, it's just not going to work for you, because it's you, right? You are protected, so don't worry. And I'm not saying run from every conflict, but if a conflict is reoccurring, definitely take it as a sign. I think that's just the clearest way I can put it out for you. There will be a resurrection. You will be able to revive yourself, so don't worry. Even if you feel like you're losing a part of yourself, you're not really losing it, and you will be able to come back to it at a more and like a greater level, at a purer, more quintessential level, I mean. Use your knowledge wisely. Yeah, that's all I'm getting for pile number 3s. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, do like the video, please do subscribe, share it with your friends. Let me know in the comments how it resonates, and if you are interested in learning witchcraft from me, you can sign up for my course 27th June. And if you're interested in getting a private reading, you can do the same. You can hit me up on my email or my Instagram, and I will see you guys in the next reading. Thank you.